Hey, my pretties, welcome to episode 257 of Shadows and Pretties. And today we are going to be looking at another Stephen King movie. So, the last time we did was The Shining, the original Shining. And today I'm going to be looking at this cult classic film called Christine. Now, this is based on the Stephen King novel Christine. So, I am going to be reviewing this 1980 the free movie called Christine, which is based on the Stephen King novel. This movie came out in 1983. It's a pretty good movie, actually, even though Christine was shot pretty much in California, in Los Angeles, while the location of Darnell's garage was located in Santa Carleta. The filming began in April of 1983 and mere days after the novel had been published. So, an abandoned furniture factory in Irwindale was used for the opening scene, while the film's stunts were primarily completed by the stunt coordinator Terry Leonard, who at the time was behind the wheel driving the high speed chase scenes, as well as the car scenes driving down the highway engulfed in flames. So, during that scene, Leonard rode a Nominex firefighter's suit just to complete with the breathing apparatus. So Alexandra Paul's identical twin sister, Caroline Paul, wrote that she and her sister pulled a prank during the filming, sending Caroline instead of place with Alexandra without telling the carpenter that they had made this switch until after he had shot the scene. My highly skilled culture pushing actually made it to the movie, which was awesome. So, of course, there was one of the old models. So, the car was pretty much identified as a 1958 Palmau Fury, which is a super old car. I mean, there's a model for it that they, placed. While this was released on VHS and DVD, it was a pretty good film. I personally like the music of it. It's a pretty good Stephen King film. I mean, there was a couple songs in the film that actually fit pretty well. So, with that being said and that being the case, I think I should go ahead and get started with this film. And I before I get started with the review, I did hear some, rumors that they're going to be remaking the movie, so I don't know if the remake's going to be good, but I will keep an eye out for it cuz me being a Stephen King fan, I really will have to see. So, basically, this takes place in 1958, and it's basically a red and white Plymouth Fury, which is built assembly line as the car injures one worker by slamming its hood shut on its hand. When the other one sits in the driver's seat and flicks a cigar in the ashes in the upholstery, he is subsequently found dead. 20 years later, a nerdy teenager named Arnold, or Arnie Cunningham, buys the now decrepit Fury over the objections of his friend Dennis Galder. At school, Arnie is bullied by Buddy Repterton and his gang, and Buddy is expelled after threatening Arnie with a switchblade. So, defying his parents, Arnie begins to restore the Fury and named it Christine, as it by its precious owner. A large junkyard yard owned by Will Darnell, Arnie's appearance and personality begins to change as he works. He sheds his glasses, dresses better, and develops an air cocky ignorance with his obsession with Christine and puts a strain on his relationship with his parents and is friendly with Dennis. So Dennis eventually learns from the seller that the Fury's previous owner was also obsessed with Christine and that his daughter choked to death in the car. And learning that he and his wife both took their own life in it, an attractive new student, Leigh Cabot, attends one of Dennis's football games with Arnie. Dennis sees them together and notes that Christine is now fully restored, or distracted, he suffers a severe injury that puts him in the hospital to end his football high school career. Arnie and Leah begin a relationship, but Leah becomes uncomfortable sitting in Christine as the two watch them a drive-in movie. The car's radio turns on by itself as Leah begins to choke on her food. Arnie finds the doors locked and Leigh eventually frees herself from another patron administers at the helmet maneuver to save her life. Buddy and his gang eventually vandalize Christine as a retaliation of Buddy's expulsion, but of course, Arnie is then distraught when he angrily breaks up with Leigh as Leah as she tries to console him. So once he returns Christine to the garage, he is surprised to see it gradually complete its repair itself. Christine then eventually chased down one member of Buddy's gangs and that evening kills him, repairing itself again afterwards. Police Detective Rudy Junkins questions Arnie about the death, but lets him go once Arnie provides the alibi or whatever it was. Later on, Christine targets the rest of the gang, killing two members at the gas station when a fatality running Buddy down. The badly damaged car then turns to Darnell's garage on its own. When he sits on the driver's seat, Christine eventually kills him by pushing him forward to crush him against the steering wheel. By the time the police find the body, Christine once more is likely new condition, and Junkins begin to question Arnie, who becomes angry and gives an alibi. So Leah then asks for Dennis's help to destroy Christine and save Arnie, and they plan to lure Christine into a garage and smash it with the bulldozer. But Christine surprises them by emerging from the pile of scrap metal, and Leah flees while Dennis battles Christine. Now being driven by Ernie in an attempt to run Leah down, Christine crashes into Darnell's office and Arnie is thrown out the windshield, fatally impaling himself on the broken glass. Christina continues to attack, repairing itself more quickly than before, until Dennis and Leah flattened it with the bulldozer. Eventually, the next day, Dennis and Leah and Junkins watch the remains of Christine being crushed at the junkyard. Junkins congratulates the teams for stopping Christine, but they regret not being able to save Arnie. So the sound of a 1950s rock and roll song spooks them, but it proves to be coming from the boombox carried by a junkyard owner. Christine's front grill twitches slightly, thus how the movie ends. I really like the fact that this movie had a really good concept and a really great story about a car, killing people. Like, it's not like, monsters killing people or a murderer or anything. This is pretty much just an eminent object killing people. And that's what honestly makes the movie more special because even though I haven't seen the movie Christine in a long time, this is actually a pretty awesome movie. I personally thought that, it's a pretty good movie, especially for something that took place, even though it took place, in the 1950s, but the movie came out in 1983, and that is one of the really good movies. This is actually another great movie by Stephen King, which, I mean, the book it does have differences in the book and stuff, so you could definitely say there's a lot of differences in this one as well as the book. So, in all my conclusion, I personally really thought this was a pretty good Christine movie, especially from, based on the book by Stephen King. Now, I know there was differences like I said before, but I have not read the book. I think I might have read it once or something, but it's been a long time since I last read the book, so I'm going to have to consider reading the book when I can. But I have to say, Stephen King's Christine movie is definitely a must watch, especially if you're a Stephen King fan. If you're a Stephen King fan, that is just awesome. I'm not going to lie. This film is definitely a great one. You can definitely sit there and, pretty much just say, if you like this movie, that's perfectly cool. If you don't like this movie, then that's perfectly fine for me too. I mean, like we've always said, if you like Stephen King, this is definitely a good one. So, yeah, that is definitely one of the good reasons why Stephen King is a good movie. And I mean, Christine was a fantastic one. I'm not going to lie. It was awesome. But I'm going to be honest right now when I say this is when I first saw the movie Christine, I honestly really liked it. I really like that it's not, a serial killer or monster or whatever. It's just an animate object killing things, which is I definitely got to say that was awesome. I'm not going to lie. That is awesome. I mean, I'm really glad. This is why I love Stephen King because he takes things and he makes it, really scary in a sense. But this is honestly one of the best stuff that he has done. And I personally really like it when it's, a pretty good film. I mean, if you're a Stephen King fan, I highly recommend you check this one out. You will not be disappointed when you see this. It's epic. And I mean, I'm still going to continue to do more Stephen King films. Like I did The Green Mile, I did Carrie, I did The Shining, and now I'm doing Christine. I think I am going to go ahead and try and do other ones, but I know I want to try and get to It, which I don't know when I will do It, but I will do It, like the original and the remake of It. And as for Pet Cemetery, I'm only going to do the first Pet Cemetery review on the original movie. I've not seen the 2019 version of the remake of it yet, so I'm not going to review that until I see the remake for myself. And as for the sequel, Pet Cemetery 2, I don't even care for the sequel, but I'll be talking more about that when I get to it. But when it kind of came to Christine, I personally enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the film. Flat it was flat out amazing. Like, I mean, it's not, just your normal serial killer. It's an animate object, basically. And that's what's really amazing is, Stephen King comes up with new ideas when it comes to writing these books. And when he makes them, when they get made into movies, they're just always amazing. Like, you could always follow along and keep track of the differences between the book and the movie. This is why I really do like Stephen King's novels. Although some of them I have not read them in a long time, some of them I have not gotten into reading yet, but I still need to, etc. So, in conclusion, I personally like this movie. It's a pretty good one, and I highly recommend it for anybody who is, a Stephen King fan. Now, anyways, with that being said and that being the case, a great movie. I personally enjoyed it, and for any of you Stephen King fans out there, I highly recommend this movie. Now, I did hear rumors about the remake like I said before. I don't know much about what if the when the remake's going to be out or something. Who knows? It might come out next year or something. But like I said, I can't really say if when the remake of Christine will come out, if it ever will or whatever. So that's just rumors, so I can't really say if that's true or not. But like I always gonna say, this is just simply my own personal opinion. If you happen to disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these stories and this or movies, whatever. This is my own thoughts. If you don't like this Stephen King movie, Christine, that's perfectly fine with me too. If you like it, that's cool. I respect your opinion. Anyways, what did you guys personally think of this story? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally helped make this story a lot better. Well, the story Stephen King wrote or the movie. Like, do you like them both? Did you not like the book? Did you like the movie? Did you not? Etc. etc. And also, what we have done to make this movie a lot better. Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you enjoyed this channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. Also, if you guys are interested in checking out my DeviantArt page, you are feel free to go check my DeviantArt out. Give me a follow and go check out my content if you're interested on my DeviantArt page. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for any of you guys who are interested in my Twitter account. Also, be sure to go subscribe to my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo if you haven't done so. Um, it is all in my About page, so you guys will be able to, go check out my About page for those who have access to it, which most of you guys do. So, I guess with that being said and that being the case, yeah, I'll be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, my pretties, and like always, I'll see you all next time.